Stop everything you're doing, because what you're about to hear could change your life forever. God just released an urgent message. A huge sum of money is about to land in your bank account. Yes, you heard that right. But there's a catch. You'll only receive it if you act fast and watch this message until the end. This isn't a random coincidence. It's a direct divine intervention in your financial situation. Imagine waking up tomorrow, checking your balance, and seeing more money than you've ever dreamed of. It's not a joke, and it's not some far-fetched promise. God Himself has declared that this blessing is yours, but here's the shocking truth. You could miss out if you don't claim it right now. This financial breakthrough is coming straight from heaven, and the only question left is, will you receive it? Don't let doubt or hesitation steal your blessing. God is ready to open the floodgates of prosperity, and this message is your key. Time is ticking. Will you be the one to unlock this miraculous deposit into your account? Stay tuned and find out how to make this divine financial miracle your reality. The first step to experiencing a miracle is believing that transformation is already on its way. It sounds simple, but how many times have you doubted that something great was about to happen? This is where the key lies. The miracle doesn't just start with faith, but with an inner shift. When you feel something big is coming, it truly is. Deep inside, that feeling is your spirit aligning with the blessings that are waiting for you. Think of it as the calm before the storm, a storm of divine blessings ready to pour into your life. A financial blessing can come out of nowhere, but it doesn't mean you sit idly by. Prepare yourself for it. Just as a farmer doesn't wait for rain without planting seeds, you must be ready to receive the financial breakthroughs that are on their way. Take actions that open the doors for miracles to enter, whether it's reaching out for a new job, making a wise investment, or stepping outside your comfort zone. The opportunities are there, you just need to recognize them. Miracles often hide in the things we overlook daily. Maybe it's the small decision to take a different route to work, or the extra 5 minutes you spend talking to someone. These tiny shifts can be the triggers that lead to the biggest blessings in your life. Imagine receiving a call about a new financial opportunity just because you chose to answer a random number. Life works in mysterious ways, and when you stay open to change, the miracles follow. Don't let fear block your blessings. Many times, the miracles we seek are held back because we allow doubt, insecurity, or fear to stand in our way. The moment you let go of these barriers is the moment your financial blessing starts to flow. Trust that God has your best interest at heart, and that the divine timing is perfect. It's not about when you think it should happen, it's about when it's meant to happen. Another thing to consider is gratitude. Gratitude creates a space for miracles. When you're truly grateful for what you already have, no matter how little it may seem, you open the door for even more blessings to enter. Gratitude shifts your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. And once you start focusing on abundance, the miracles, especially financial ones, begin to show up in ways you never expected. Think of your life as a garden. You've been planting seeds for a long time, and even though you haven't seen the results yet, they're growing beneath the surface. Right now, your breakthrough is just around the corner. You may not see it, but trust that your financial blessing is on its way. Keep tending to your garden, stay faithful, and before you know it, you'll be reaping a harvest of financial miracles. God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't match our own. Sometimes, what we think is a delay is actually preparation. Just like a potter molds clay, every moment of waiting is shaping you into the person who is ready to receive that financial breakthrough. So instead of worrying, Trust that every step is part of the bigger picture. Your blessing is already written in the stars. You just need to stay patient and ready to receive it. When you hear the word miracle, what comes to mind? Most people think of sudden, life-changing events. But what if I told you that miracles are unfolding in your life every single day? It's just a matter of perspective. That unexpected refund, the opportunity that came out of nowhere, these are all signs that the financial blessing is already beginning. The key is to stay alert and grateful for the miracles in progress. Faith isn't just about hoping for the best, it's about preparing for it. When you truly believe that a financial blessing is coming, your actions will reflect that belief. Start making room for the blessing you want to receive. Open new savings accounts, set financial goals, or even take a course on managing money. These small steps show that you're ready to handle the miracle that's about to unfold. Sometimes the biggest blessings come disguised as challenges. That setback you experienced might actually be the push you needed to get to the next level. When one door closes, another opens, but only if you're willing to see the opportunity in the obstacle. Don't let a temporary challenge make you lose sight of the bigger picture. Stay focused on the financial breakthrough that's coming, even if it seems far away right now. If you've been praying for financial miracles, know that God has heard you. Every prayer is like a seed planted in faith, and it will bear fruit in its time. But here's the thing, miracles don't always come in the way we expect. Sometimes they come in the form of new opportunities or a shift in perspective. Stay open to all the ways that blessings can enter your life. You might be surprised at how they show up. Deuteronomy 28 verse 2 is a powerful verse that reminds us of one simple truth. Obedience to God opens the doors to blessings. It's not about blind submission, but about aligning your life with the divine will. When you follow the path God sets before you, it's like unlocking a treasure chest full of financial miracles and blessings. Every step of obedience brings you closer to receiving the prosperity that has already been prepared for you. It's a promise written in Scripture, and it's as true today as it was thousands of years ago. But what does it really mean to obey the Lord? It's more than just following rules. It's about living with integrity, kindness, and faith. When you make decisions based on God's guidance, you're sowing seeds of financial blessings into your life. Think of it as planting a tree. Every act of obedience is like watering that tree, helping it grow strong and eventually bear fruit. And that fruit? It's the financial miracles that are promised to those who trust in God's plan. In a world where everyone is chasing after money, few understand that true financial prosperity comes from a higher source. The blessings God promises aren't just material wealth. They're opportunities, connections, and unexpected doors that open when you least expect them. Imagine receiving a financial breakthrough just because you followed a small inner nudge to help someone or take a leap of faith. That's how divine blessings work. They show up when you least expect them, often as a reward for simple acts of obedience. There's a common misconception that blessings are always about money, but Deuteronomy 28 verse 2 shows us that they come in many forms. Yes, financial blessings are real, and they are part of God's promise. But sometimes, a blessing could be the wisdom to manage your money better, or the insight to invest in the right place. Think of the many ways your life could be enriched, not just with money, but with opportunities to multiply that wealth. The key is to be open to all the forms of financial blessings God sends your way. Obedience may seem difficult at times, especially when life throws unexpected challenges your way. But every moment of struggle is an opportunity to reaffirm your trust in God's plan. Remember, it's often in the most challenging times that blessings are closest. When things seem the hardest, when it feels like you're about to give up, that's when a financial breakthrough is right around the corner. Trust that your obedience is not in vain. It's leading you to a place of unimaginable prosperity. One of the most comforting truths in life is knowing that God is always guiding your steps. No matter how lost you may feel or how difficult the situation seems, God is there, leading you through every moment. Think of it like walking through a fog. You can't see the path clearly, but with faith, you know that each step is being directed. Even when life feels uncertain, you're not walking alone. God's guidance is like a compass that keeps you on the right course, leading you toward financial blessings and peace. It's easy to question whether you're on the right path, especially when things don't go as planned. But what if those detours are part of the bigger plan? Sometimes, what feels like a setback is actually a setup for something greater. When you trust in God's guidance, you realize that even the challenges are part of your journey toward a financial breakthrough. The key is to keep moving forward, trusting that God sees the bigger picture, even when you don't. Every step you take in faith brings you closer to the miracles you've been waiting for. God's guidance doesn't always come in loud, dramatic ways. Often, it's the quiet, gentle nudges that steer us in the right direction. Have you ever felt an inner urge to take a particular action, even though it didn't make sense at the time? That's God guiding you. Maybe it's the feeling to apply for a job you didn't think you'd get, or to invest in a project that seems uncertain. These small nudges are the whispers of God, directing you toward financial blessings and opportunities that you wouldn't have found on your own. In moments of doubt, it's important to remember that God never abandons you. When the road gets tough, it doesn't mean God has left your side. It means He's preparing you for something greater. Just like gold is refined in fire, you're being shaped and molded into the person who can handle the financial miracles coming your way. So instead of feeling abandoned in difficult times, trust that God is closer than ever, working behind the scenes to ensure your prosperity. Trust is a key part of walking in God's guidance. It's not always easy, especially when things don't go according to plan. But that's when faith matters most, when you can't see the next step, but you trust that God has already laid it out for you. Imagine driving at night with only your headlights to guide you. You can't see the whole road, but you trust that the lights will show you enough to keep going. In the same way, God's guidance illuminates just enough for you to take the next step, bringing you closer to your financial blessings. God's guidance is a constant, even when life feels uncertain. It's easy to feel lost or confused when things don't go according to plan, but that's precisely when God's hand is at work. Each step you take, whether in joy or struggle, is divinely directed. Think of it like walking through a dense forest. The path may be unclear, but there's always a guiding light. Even in your darkest moments, God is right there, illuminating the way forward toward financial blessings and peace. When you face obstacles, it's natural to wonder if you've taken the wrong path. But what if those obstacles are part of the journey designed to strengthen you? God doesn't promise a life without challenges, but He does promise to guide you through them. Each difficulty you encounter is an opportunity for growth, for learning, and for building the resilience needed to handle the financial miracles that are coming your way. Trust in the process, knowing that every step, even the tough ones, has a purpose. God's guidance isn't always obvious. Sometimes it comes in subtle ways, through a quiet feeling, a sudden idea, or a chance encounter. Have you ever had the urge to make a decision that seemed illogical at the time, only to realize later that it was the best thing you could have done? That's God at work, guiding you in ways you might not immediately understand. Following these divine nudges could lead to opportunities and financial blessings you never imagined. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, God is moving behind the scenes. During moments of stillness or frustration, it can seem like your prayers aren't being answered. But just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean God isn't working. Often, the delays and waiting periods are essential. They are preparing you for something far greater than you had originally planned. Trust that God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with your own. Think about the story of Joseph in the Bible. He went from being sold into slavery to becoming one of the most powerful men in Egypt. Did he question his path along the way? Absolutely. But through it all, God was guiding him toward his purpose, shaping him to handle the blessing that awaited him. Your life may feel like a series of highs and lows, but remember, like Joseph, your journey is being directed by divine hands. Every challenge you face is leading you toward a greater financial breakthrough. It's easy to feel abandoned when life gets tough, but that's when God is closest. Think of the moments when you felt most lost. Those are often the times when God was carrying you. You may not always feel His presence, but it's there, guiding you through each difficulty. When you look back, you'll realize that the times you thought you were alone were actually the times God was directing you towards something better. Financial blessings often come disguised as trials, but with faith, you can trust the process. Faith is essential in recognizing God's guidance. It's not enough to just hope for the best. You need to actively trust that God has a plan for your life. When things aren't going your way, it's tempting to take matters into your own hands. But real faith means surrendering control, knowing that God is orchestrating every detail. Think of it like driving at night. You may not be able to see the entire road, but you trust that the headlights will illuminate just enough to keep you moving forward. Imagine you're walking along a path with no end in sight, but you feel that quiet assurance deep within. That's God guiding you, step by step. The journey may be long, and the road may be bumpy, but every step is moving you closer to the financial blessings that await. You might not see the whole picture now, but trust that God does. Each obstacle, each delay, is part of the divine plan to bring you to a place of abundance and peace. Obedience plays a key role in following God's guidance. When you follow the path God has set, even when it's difficult, you align yourself with His will. And with that alignment comes blessings, financial, emotional, and spiritual. Obedience isn't about perfection. It's about staying faithful, even when the path seems unclear. Every act of faith, every decision to trust, is planting seeds for a future harvest of financial miracles. God's guidance often requires patience. It's not always easy to wait when you're eager for results, but the waiting period is where the magic happens. Think of it as planting a tree. You don't see immediate growth, but deep below the surface, roots are forming, preparing for the day when that tree will flourish. Your financial blessing is like that tree. It's growing beneath the surface, even when you can't see it. Stay patient, trust the process, and the fruit will come. Many people mistake setbacks for abandonment, but they're often the exact opposite. Setbacks are God's way of redirecting you, of putting you on a better path than you would have chosen for yourself. What feels like a detour is often a shortcut to something far greater than you imagined. Don't let momentary challenges make you doubt God's presence. He's still guiding you, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Stay the course, and you'll soon see the financial breakthrough you've been praying for. When you follow God's guidance, you begin to notice opportunities you wouldn't have seen before. Doors start to open, and paths that once seemed impossible become clear. These are the moments when you realize God has been orchestrating your life all along. Financial blessings start to flow in unexpected ways, through a new job offer, an investment opportunity, or even a simple act of kindness that leads to something greater. The more you trust in God's guidance, the more you'll see His hand at work in your life. One of the greatest challenges is trusting God during times of uncertainty. When you can't see the outcome, it's tempting to rely on your own understanding. But Proverbs 3 verse 5 reminds us to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. That's the essence of following God's guidance, trusting that He knows what's best, even when we don't. When you surrender your need for control, you make room for the financial blessings that are waiting to enter your life. God's guidance brings peace. Even in the midst of chaos, there's a deep sense of calm that comes from knowing you're being led by divine hands. It doesn't mean you won't face challenges, but it means you can face them with confidence, knowing that God is with you. Financial blessings often come when you least expect them, but they're always perfectly timed. Trust in that peace, and you'll find that everything falls into place exactly when it's supposed to. It's important to recognize that God's guidance isn't just for the big decisions in life. He's guiding you in the small, everyday moments as well. Whether it's choosing to spend time with a loved one or deciding to take a break from work, these little decisions can have a big impact. God is in the details, and sometimes, the smallest steps lead to the greatest financial blessings. Stay open to His voice in every moment, not just when you're facing major life choices. No matter how far you feel from God, know that He is never far from you. Even when you've made mistakes or taken wrong turns, God's guidance is still available to you. He's not a distant observer. He's actively involved in your life, always ready to steer you back on course. All it takes is a willingness to listen, to trust, and to follow. Financial blessings are waiting, but they require your cooperation. Let go of fear and doubt, and let God lead you to the abundance He has in store. The journey toward financial blessings is rarely a straight line. There are twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But through it all, God is with you, guiding you toward a future filled with prosperity and peace. The key is to stay faithful, even when the path seems unclear. Trust that every step is bringing you closer to your breakthrough. God's guidance is constant, and as long as you follow it, you'll never be led astray. Your financial miracle is on the horizon. Financial breakthroughs are not just a distant dream, they are a divine promise. God's prosperity is already at work in your life, even if you don't see it yet. Like a river that flows quietly before reaching a waterfall, your financial blessings are building momentum. Sometimes, all it takes is one opportunity, one open door, to change everything. You've been praying, waiting, and believing, and now the floodgates of financial miracles are about to open. God's promises of prosperity are not limited to just a select few. If you're reading this, you are included in those promises. The abundance that God has prepared for you is far greater than anything you've imagined. But here's the catch: you need to be ready to receive it. Many people miss their blessings because they're not prepared for them. Don't let that be you. Start positioning yourself today for the financial breakthrough that's coming your way. Unexpected opportunities often come disguised as challenges. Maybe you've been facing financial difficulties and feel like there's no way out. But what if that struggle is the very thing that's preparing you for a greater blessing? God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes the blessing comes in the form of an idea, a connection, or even a setback that redirects you to something better. Stay alert to the possibilities, because your financial miracle might be closer than you think. There's a reason why faith is often tested in times of financial hardship. It's in those moments that we learn to rely on God's provision rather than our own efforts. When you trust that God is your ultimate provider, you begin to see financial opportunities where others see lack. You stop focusing on what's missing and start looking for the doors God is opening. Those doors may lead to new jobs, investments, or even unexpected windfalls. The key is to trust that God's timing is perfect. God's prosperity isn't just about money, it's about opportunities, relationships, and resources that bring lasting abundance. Money is just one part of the equation. True prosperity is a state of well-being, where your needs are met, and you have more than enough to bless others. When you focus on the bigger picture of God's blessings, you realize that financial miracles are just one piece of the puzzle. The full picture includes peace, joy, and fulfillment in every area of your life. Imagine waking up one morning to find that your financial situation has dramatically changed. That unexpected job offer, the investment that finally paid off, or the debt that's been wiped clean. These are all examples of the kind of financial breakthroughs God can bring. But remember, it's not about sitting back and waiting for a miracle. You need to be actively preparing yourself to receive it. Start making wise decisions today, so that when the blessing comes, you're ready to manage it well. Faith and action go hand in hand. You can't just pray for a financial miracle and then do nothing. God expects you to take steps of faith, even if they seem small. Maybe it's applying for that promotion, starting a side business, or finally getting your finances in order. These actions, combined with faith, are what open the door for God's prosperity to flow into your life. Financial breakthroughs are a partnership between your faith and God's provision. Opportunities can come from the most unlikely places. A conversation with a friend, a chance meeting with a stranger, or even a random idea that pops into your head could be the beginning of your financial miracle. The key is to stay open and expectant. When you live with the belief that God is working on your behalf, you start to see opportunities everywhere. Your job is to recognize them and take action. Don't dismiss small beginnings. Great things often start from small seeds. God's financial miracles often come in the form of multiplication. Think about the story of the loaves and fishes in the Bible. Jesus took a small amount of food and multiplied it to feed thousands. The same principle applies to your finances. You might feel like you have little to work with, but in God's hands, that little can be multiplied beyond what you ever thought possible. Trust that God can take whatever you have and turn it into more than enough. A financial breakthrough starts with a shift in mindset. If you've been stuck in a cycle of scarcity, it's time to start thinking from a place of abundance. God's blessings are not limited, and neither should your thinking be. When you expect God to provide, your actions and decisions will reflect that belief. You'll start making choices that align with the abundance God has promised. And as you do, you'll see financial miracles begin to manifest in your life. Waiting for a financial breakthrough can be frustrating, especially when it feels like nothing is happening. But remember, God's timing is not the same as ours. While you're waiting, God is working. He's aligning the right people, opportunities, and circumstances to bring about your blessing. Don't give up hope just because the breakthrough hasn't arrived yet. Stay faithful, keep believing, and trust that God's prosperity will flow into your life at the perfect moment. One of the most powerful ways to position yourself for a financial miracle is through generosity. It may seem counterintuitive, but giving opens the door for receiving. When you give out of a heart of faith, you're showing God that you trust Him to provide for your needs. And in return, He blesses you abundantly. It's a cycle of giving and receiving that leads to even greater financial blessings. So, if you're praying for a breakthrough, consider how you can be a blessing to someone else. Financial breakthroughs often come with a test of stewardship. God wants to know that you can handle the blessings He's about to pour into your life. That's why it's important to start managing your resources wisely now, even if they seem small. Create a budget, pay off debt, and invest in things that will bring long-term prosperity. When you show God that you can be trusted with what you have, He will increase it. Remember, Stewardship is the key to unlocking greater financial blessings. It's important to stay humble when your financial breakthrough arrives. Prosperity is a gift from God, and it should be treated as such. Pride can easily creep in when you experience success, but humility keeps you grounded and focused on the source of your blessings. Always remember that the financial miracles you receive are not just for your benefit, they're also meant to be shared with others. Use your prosperity to bless those around you, and you'll see even more blessings flow into your life. Faith in God's provision is the foundation of financial prosperity. When you believe that God is your source, you stop relying solely on your own efforts. This doesn't mean you stop working hard, but it means you understand that ultimate success comes from God's hand. Every opportunity, every financial miracle, is a reflection of His love and care for you. When you live in that truth, you'll begin to see financial blessings manifest in ways you never expected. Faith and trust are the foundation of any spiritual journey. Without them, it's easy to get lost in the challenges of life. When things don't go as planned, it's natural to feel frustrated or discouraged. But faith reminds you that there's a bigger picture, one that you can't always see. Trust in God's plan means believing that, even in the most difficult moments, everything is working together for your good. It's not about understanding the why right now. It's about trusting the how God is working in your life. Sometimes, faith feels like walking in the dark. You can't see the way forward, but you trust that each step you take is guided by a higher power. It's in these moments of uncertainty that your faith is truly tested. Can you believe in the miracle before you see it? Can you trust in the financial blessing that hasn't arrived yet? That's where real faith comes in. Not when everything is going well, but when you're holding on during the storms. Your unwavering trust is what activates the miracles God has in store for you. Trusting in God's plan requires patience, especially when life seems to be falling apart. It's hard to wait for a financial breakthrough when bills are piling up and opportunities seem scarce. But God's timing is perfect. What feels like a delay is often preparation for something much greater than you imagined. Just like a seed that's planted in the ground, it takes time to see growth. Your faith is that seed, and with patience, it will grow into a harvest of financial blessings. Think about the story of Job in the Bible. He lost everything, his wealth, his family, his health, but he never lost his faith in God. And because of that faith, he was blessed with even more than he had before. Job's story is a powerful reminder that no matter how difficult life gets, trusting in God's plan will always lead to greater blessings. You may be going through a tough time right now, but just like Job, your faith will bring you through to a place of abundance and restoration. Faith is not passive, it's active. It's about taking steps forward, even when you're not sure where they'll lead. If you're waiting for a financial miracle, don't just sit back and hope it comes. Take action. Start making decisions that reflect your trust in God's provision. Whether it's applying for a job, creating a budget, or investing in a new opportunity, your actions show God that you're ready for the blessings He has prepared. Faith without works is dead, so keep moving forward in faith. Trust often involves surrendering control. As humans, we like to plan and organize every aspect of our lives. But real trust in God's plan means letting go of the need to control every outcome. It's about releasing your worries and fears and allowing God to guide your steps. When you stop trying to force things to happen, you create space for God to move. And it's in that space of surrender that financial miracles can unfold. Let go, and let God take the lead. Faith is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. Every time you trust God in a difficult situation, your faith grows. Think about the times in your life when things seemed impossible, yet somehow they worked out. Those moments are proof that God's plan is always better than anything we could imagine. The same applies to your financial situation. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. Keep exercising your faith, and you'll see the results. Trust doesn't mean everything will be easy. There will be setbacks, delays, and moments of doubt. But those moments are opportunities to deepen your faith. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" start asking, "What is God teaching me through this?" Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger in your faith and more reliant on God's guidance. The road to financial blessings may be rocky, but trust that it leads to a place of prosperity and peace. Trusting God means accepting that His plan is different from yours. We all have dreams and goals, but what if God has something even better in store? When things don't go as expected, it's easy to feel disappointed. But remember, God's vision for your life is far greater than anything you could imagine. Trust that the closed doors and missed opportunities are leading you toward something better, something that aligns with His divine plan for your financial prosperity. Faith isn't just about believing in God's plan, it's about trusting His timing. We often want things to happen on our schedule, but God's timing is always perfect. If you're waiting for a financial breakthrough, remember that delays don't mean denial. Sometimes, the wait is necessary for you to be fully prepared for the blessing that's coming. In the midst of life's storms, God is always at work, bringing peace where there seems to be chaos. The peace that comes from God is not just the absence of conflict, but a deep, soul-soothing calm that surpasses all understanding. You may be going through difficult times right now, whether it's financial struggles, health issues, or broken relationships, but know that God is already working behind the scenes to bring you peace. He is restoring everything that has been lost or broken, and with that restoration comes healing. Healing is more than just physical, it's emotional and spiritual as well. When God heals, He heals completely. You may have wounds from past experiences that have affected your mental and emotional health, but God is bringing healing to those areas too. Whether it's the pain of a lost opportunity, financial disappointment, or strained relationships, God is working to heal your heart and mind. With each step of faith, you're opening yourself up to receive the healing and peace that only He can provide. Think about the moments in life when peace seemed impossible. Maybe you were in the middle of a financial crisis, and everything felt overwhelming. But somehow, you found the strength to keep going, and eventually things worked out. That's what God's peace does. It anchors you, even when the world around you is shaking. It doesn't mean the storm disappears instantly, but it means you have the strength to weather it. God's peace is your anchor, and with it, you can face any challenge. Restoring relationships is one of the most powerful ways that God brings peace into your life. Broken relationships can cause deep emotional wounds, but God specializes in mending what seems unfixable. Whether it's a relationship with a family member, friend, or even yourself, God's healing touch can bring reconciliation and peace. Imagine the relief and joy that comes from healing a long-standing rift. That peace flows into every area of your life, including your finances, as you're no longer weighed down by unresolved conflicts. Financial stress can often be a major source of anxiety and tension in relationships. When money is tight, arguments and misunderstandings can easily arise. But God is working to bring peace not just to your financial situation, but to the relationships impacted by it. He's restoring trust, communication, and unity, helping you and your loved ones navigate these challenges together. As you experience God's financial blessings, you'll find that peace also begins to settle into your relationships, healing the strain that financial struggles may have caused. God's peace brings clarity. When you're overwhelmed with worry, It's hard to see the solutions that are right in front of you. But when you invite God's peace into your situation, everything starts to make sense. That peace calms your mind and allows you to think clearly, to make better decisions, and to trust that God is guiding your every step. Financial miracles often come when you're at peace, when you've let go of the worry and trusted God to handle the outcome. Peace isn't passive, it's powerful. Healing takes time, but it's a process that God is walking with you through. Whether you're healing from financial setbacks, emotional pain, or physical illness, trust that God is working in every area of your life. He's not just healing the surface issues, He's going deeper, addressing the root causes of your pain. Each day, as you trust in God's healing power, you'll find yourself becoming stronger, more resilient, and more at peace. Healing is not a one-time event, but a journey, and God is with you every step of the way. Healing isn't always immediate, but it's always happening. Sometimes, you don't even realize that God has been healing you until you look back and see how far you've come. The same is true for financial healing. Maybe you've been praying for a breakthrough, and it feels like nothing is happening. But each day, God is aligning things in your favor, healing your financial situation in ways you might not see yet. Trust the process, and believe that your financial healing is already underway. God's healing brings freedom. When you're healed emotionally, physically, or financially, you're no longer bound by the limitations that once held you back. That freedom allows you to step into new opportunities, to take risks, and to live fully in the abundance that God has promised. Healing isn't just about recovering from pain, it's about stepping into the fullness of life that God has for you. As you continue to trust in God's healing, you'll find that doors of opportunity open, leading to financial blessings and peace. Relationships are often the first place where God's peace and healing are felt. Whether it's a strained relationship with a loved one or a misunderstanding with a colleague, God's peace has the power to heal and restore. As your relationships heal, you'll find that other areas of your life, including your finances, begin to flourish as well. Peace in relationships leads to peace in every other area. As you experience healing in your relationships, you'll notice a ripple effect of blessings throughout your life. Financial peace comes when you stop striving and start trusting. It's easy to get caught up in the worry and stress of financial challenges, but God invites you to rest in His peace. That doesn't mean you stop working hard or making wise financial decisions. It means you stop letting anxiety control your actions. When you trust God to provide for your needs, you'll find that peace follows. Financial peace is not about having an abundance of wealth, but about trusting that God will meet your needs in every season. God's healing power extends to every aspect of your life. There's no area too small or too big for Him to restore. Whether it's a financial crisis, a health issue, or a broken relationship, God is working to bring healing and peace. Now that you've heard this life-changing message, the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Will you sit back and wait, or will you take action and claim the financial miracle that's been promised to you? God has already set everything in motion, but it's up to you to step into the blessing. Don't let this moment slip away. Your breakthrough is closer than ever, and the only thing standing between you and that financial abundance is your decision to believe. Think about it. What if today was the day that changed everything? What if, by acting in faith, you could unlock the financial freedom you've been praying for? This is your chance to do just that. But it's not just about money. It's about stepping into the life God has prepared for you. Are you ready to receive it? Before you leave, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. There's more to learn, more blessings to receive, and you don't want to miss a single one. Take control of your financial future by staying connected, applying these powerful teachings, and watching as God's promises unfold in your life. Your miracle is on the way. Don't miss it.